everyone, this is Lynn Wilson. Welcome back to my home. Are you feeling a little stressed? Are you going through some trauma or something that's just changed your life, whether it's a temporary situation or maybe a permanent one, and you just don't know how to pull it all together? Well, stick around. I might have some tips for you. Welcome back. I'm in my kitchen and I'm just getting home from work, trying to get some dishes done. It's Sunday afternoon, and had to work a conference this weekend where I work. It was a great weekend, and it was a lot of fun, really enjoyable. But if you're a working wife, mother, you know what it's like full-time. The stresses of coming home on a normal, regular weekend, you know what I mean. You got a lot of chores to do. You work full time, and then on top of that, you've got to keep the house going, keep the family going, keep the meals going, and all that good stuff. And then something happens, and someone gets the flu, or someone gets really laid up, or I don't know, just tragedy might happen. And then all of a sudden, all the routines and all the schedules that you've had, or that that you've put in place to make your family function well, go out the window. And I can tell you, my house is a disaster. And my house is a mess. It really is. The laundry's piling up, the dishes, and things have just gotten out of sorts. And I work full time. And I am the only driver in my family for a family of 5. And you know what? Forget these dishes. Let's go in my living room. Let's sit down and have a chat together. I'll grab a cup of coffee. Come join me in my living room, and then we'll finish this chat. Well, come on in and join me in my living room. Glad you're here today. I was just, thinking through, like I said, in the kitchen, of what stress can be like and what it can do to you and how it can completely change your life. And how are you guys doing? How's everyone out there? It would be great to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment, send me an email. I get a lot of text messages and Facebook messages from some of you, and I love hearing from you. Let me know how you're doing in your world. What's happening? Are you guys going through some stress? Are things changing? Stress to everyone is different. Tragedy is different. Upheaval, I can't really think of the right word to use for it. We go through our normal routines of life, and having a husband on disability and a special needs child over the past 17 years, especially with our youngest, has changed our life. How we do things, why we do things, when we do things, and all that. And that can change daily. And having a husband with a disability, you plan to do this at 9 o'clock, and at 8:52, all of a sudden he's having a seizure, and your whole life is changing for the day. You cancel plans, you rearrange plans, and all that kind of stuff. So that is normal for me. But of late, what has happened, let me have a sip of coffee. Grab your coffee and join me. Of late, in the past 2 months, I'd say, almost 2 months, about 7 weeks, my husband had 2 major falls from seizures. Actually, now 3 major falls from seizures. And it has given him several, what do they call them? Herniated discs. And he has stenosis, I think I'm saying that correctly, and some other issues with lower back, to the point where he couldn't raise his arms to shave, couldn't walk, was almost crawling for a time, couldn't bend, couldn't lay down, barely could sit in a chair, and he's had a rough go of it. So he is our caretaker of the home. So he keeps me organized. He keeps this head on straight. He makes the phone calls. He makes the list. He will, I'll order food online, and he'll check it as it comes in and check it off on the pantry. And he just keeps those types of things going for me. He's the homeschool parent for the most part. And he's been out of commission for almost 7 weeks. In addition to that, my son's youth groups have all picked up again. It's after the holidays started in January, and everything kicked back in gear. In addition to that, my parents, who are a little bit older, have decided to hang up their keys, and which is fine. That's that's the best thing for safety for themselves and for everyone else. They decided it was time to do that. But that now means adding to my schedule. Doing extra grocery shopping for 2 households, doing errands, doctor visits, and all those things. In addition to my normals, now I have my husband, who is my partner in keeping our family going, is out of commission. So in a sense, he's taken a 2-month leave of absence and has not been around. And now my parents need additional help and aren't able to get themselves where they need to go, so they're depending on me to help them. And then, of course, my youngest son is still at home, and he needs to get to homeschool activities, youth groups. I still have to work full time. And somehow, through all that, for me, sanity just isn't there. And I think I've didn't know how to pull it together. And you might want to, honey, you might want to turn that TV down a little bit. We're sitting here watching one of our favorite shows, which is Voyager on Star Trek. We are Trekkies. We love our Star Trek. But just thinking through just how to keep sanity, how to keep, I can't say stress-free. That's not really the thing. But here's what I've really been just focusing in on. What does Lynn need? I have to be the driver of 5 people. I have to be the caretaker of 5 people. I have to be the person that navigates and gets us through a day. And I was just reading something on, I posted it on Facebook, and it said, when you take one step in front of the other, that at the end of a period of time, you look back and realize you climbed a mountain. And maybe that's what you feel like. Whatever that you fill in the blank, whatever you're going through, maybe you feel like, oh, I look back, I did just climb a mountain. And, sometimes we got to go up, and then other times we're coming down. And like anything else, it's easy to go up. No, that's not right. It's hard to go up. It's harder to go up, and it's easier to come down. But it's part of life, and it's sometimes just where we're at. And we can have a really, really bad attitude and curse everybody out and be grumpy and edgy and angry. And if you hear somebody giggling in the background, it's my youngest son, who's upstairs in our bedroom right now watching something on YouTube. I think it has to do with slime, and he's cracking up, so he's making me laugh. He's got a good laugh. And laughter is good. You need to have laughter in amongst of stress and insanity. But anyway, I just had to think through, what could I do? I'm going to lose my mind. So again, I'm not a professional. I am not someone you could say, go to her for counseling. That's not what this is. This is just Lynn Wilson sitting in her home, trying to make life happen, pull it together so that I can function for whatever time I'm going to go through this. 3 things came to mind, and I thought, you know what? Here's what I need, at least for us. And so maybe take this tip and turn it into whatever it is that works for your family. But my family needs to eat. We need to have food. So I need to make sure there's fresh fruits, vegetables, milk, butter, eggs, all that stuff. I need the basics. I need to have food. I need to have clean dishes because we have to eat on dishes. And I need wash. And we need to wear clean clothes. I have to go to work, and my family needs fresh things every day. So those are the 3 things. And I thought, if I can make sure I have food, if I can make sure the dishes are done, and I can make sure the wash is done, I've done good for that day. So my normal day, work 8 hours, 9 hours. By the time I get home, it's either throw some sandwiches in a bag and out the door, or make a quick dinner and out the door, or maybe even grab something on the road, because a lot of times I will beep the horn. The family has to jump in the car. We then have to head to the doctor. Then maybe after the doctor, like tomorrow, I will then have to stop by my parents and deliver some things. Then from there, we have a choice. Do we come home for an hour and get something to eat, or do we just stay on the road and stop and get something out on the road and then head to a meeting we have tomorrow night? So in one day, I might leave the house at 6:30 in the morning and not get home till 10:30 at night, and actually never step foot in my house until 10:30 at night. So my days are crazy in that way, and that could be 4 out of the 7 nights a week that's my schedule. So again, when I can and I'm out, Make sure when I come home, use minimal dishes. Yes, use paper plates if we have to just try and scale it down, because I'm the only one that could do the dishes. Yes, my youngest son does help. Dishes are just not something, it's just not a good fit with him, with his autism and with his skill level. But he's great. He will take out the garbage. He will carry the laundry down to the basement. He will carry the laundry up. He will put his laundry away. He will collect the garbage around the house. There are a lot of tasks that he will do that really help me, but the dishes really need to be something I can do. My husband normally would sit on a stool because of his seizures and do the dishes, but he's just not able to do that right now. The wash, yes, our youngest can do that, and he has helped, but some of the things I got to make sure are done right, because I need to wear them in public at work. So the doing of the wash is what I do, but he'll put them in the dryer for me. So I'll tell him in the morning, I just did a little wash, throw them in the dryer. He'll take them out of the dryer, put them in a basket, and bring them up. So we're reestablishing those things, what things he can help with. And he, I have to tell you, has been 100% pure gentleman. My husband raised him right. He's been helping. He's been stepping up to the plate. He's been doing things that go above and beyond what he normally does. My older two kids have jumped in and helped with some grocery shopping. My daughter-in-law will call me on the way home from work and say, hey, I'm stopping at Lidl's or Walmart. Can I pick something up for you? My oldest son he just took me on a date Saturday night. He took his mom out, gave me a night, hey mom, I'm taking you out to dinner. We sat and talked. We work at the same company, so sometimes he'll say to me, hey, you want to run down the road? We'll grab a cup of coffee together and we'll talk. Just for a half an hour lunch break. We'll talk on the way, grab coffee, talk on the way back. So I do have these people helping, but again, my three things: get that laundry done, get the dishes done, and make sure you have some food in the house. The rest of the house, the vacuuming, the dusting, the organizing, the cleaning up, straightening up, you know what? I'm really sorry. If you're going to pop in and come for a visit, grab a cup of coffee, sit on my couch. You might have to move a few things out of the way, but right now that's where I'm at in life. And I've had to learn it's okay. It is okay to have dusty furniture. It is okay to have the rugs not vacuumed. It is okay that the floors haven't been washed. It is okay that you haven't cleaned your shower. It is okay that your house is a mess. It's for a season. I'm trying to remind myself, and it's easy when you're sitting on the other side and you can go, oh, you got this, girl, you're good. But when you're living through it, you feel like it's an eternity. Whether it's 2 days, 2 months, or whatever time period it is, you feel like when you're in it, it's an eternity. And I'm reminding myself it is not. And I have to remind myself too, it's for today. I don't know what tomorrow brings. I'm not even in tomorrow, nor do I want to be there. I need to get through today, and it has to be one step in front of the other. Remember that song, if you've ever watched one of the Christmas movies, and they sing that song, put one step in front of the other. I'm not a singer, so I won't bless you with my singing, but I keep hearing that tune go through my head, and so I've just found that works for me. I am not a reader. I admire people that can sit down and read a book in a night. I'm not a reader. But I said to my husband last week, I can tell I'm stressed because the one thought I kept having is, oh, I would just love to sit on a chair and grab my cup of coffee. This is my beautiful coffee mug that my friend Sandra at work gave me. It says, rejoice in each new day. Let me show you that. Isn't that beautiful? It's my favorite mug. I told Sandra, whenever I'm off, this is the mug I like to use. It just, I don't know, there's something about it. When I have this coffee in this mug, I just feel like I can have a Zen moment. Does that sound silly? I don't know. But anyway, I want to grab a cup of coffee, and I said, I want to read a book. It just, to me, seems like that moment where I could sort of check out of everything. And again, I'm not a reader, but a friend gave me a book. It's called The Red Sea Rules. I don't know if you've ever read it. If you've read it, leave me a comment below. Tell me what you think. It's by Robert J. Morgan. And it says the same God who led you in will lead you out. And it came about because I posted on my Facebook how my husband said he feels we're at the Red Sea. If you know that Bible story, and they came to the Red Sea, and of course it's a sea. There's no way to get through it. And they were told they need to go through it. And, that's kind of how we are in life sometimes. You're up against a wall. You're up against an ocean. You're up against a sea. You're up against a circumstance. And there's no way I can go through this. But, we have to go through stuff in life. And there was a parting of the Red Sea. And the Red Sea parted. And they were able to walk through. And we kind of feel like my husband and I that we're at the Red Sea. We've had so many things hit us within a period of 4 to 6 weeks that have completely and drastically changed our life. Some of it permanently. Some of it might be temporary. But it has caused me stress. It's caused me to be overwhelmed. It's caused me to rethink even my own faith. What do I really believe? What don't I believe? And questioning things. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that helps you grow in what you do believe in. But it has stressed me out. I need to be honest and tell you, it has definitely stressed me out. But those 3 things have given me some sanity. It's made me feel like I can do this. You know what? When I wake up, I go to work. All I got to do is when I come home is the wash, the dishes, and make sure I have food. Everything else can wait. Then when I have a day off, maybe I can clean the living room up and tidy up the kitchen enough that it's presentable. It's not going to be a spring clean. It's not going to be pristine. But that's not where I am in life. The other thing I make sure is my calendar. I have to have it up to date. When my husband has to see the doctor 3 times a week, that's a lot. In addition to everything else, my son has youth group 3 times a week. In addition to homeschool events, I have to work 5 days a week. I need to visit with my parents at least 2, sometimes 3 times a week. That's the normals, and then you add in anything else that might come. So if you don't have a calendar, this one's from the Dollar Tree. This is nothing super fancy. Here's the inside of it. It's a good size. I use friction pens, my absolute favorite. They're erasable, and I color code. I have 1 color for work, 1 color for our family as a personal thing, and then 1 color for activities like homeschool events, church events, youth groups, all that kind of stuff. So I color code it so I could at a quick glance see if it's that color. I kind of know it's work related and so on. But keep your calendar up to date. If you're not a paper and pen girl like me, make sure your Google calendar is up to date on your phone and whatever you need to do. The other thing, I know it sounds silly, and I was telling one of the girls I work with, and she said, no, it's not silly. I told my husband I'm waking up in the middle of the night and I'm getting confused. Am I working tomorrow? What time do I have to be at work? I don't work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, on a set schedule. My schedule changes and I work different shifts, and so I wake up in the middle of the night, 2:30 in the morning. What time is it? Where am I going? Did I forget to pick somebody up? Do I have to make food? Do I have my clothes laid out? Where does my husband have to go? Where is he? Oh, he's not in the bedroom. That's right. He's sleeping on the recliner. He's okay. Where's my son? Did I pick him up? Yes, I kissed him goodnight. He's okay. What, where, how, who? And I get myself in a tizzy, and for a few weeks now, I've just not been able to sleep well because I'm stressed and I'm worried and I'm fretting and so I have been really working hard the last 2 weeks to go, okay, you need to chill out because you got to create a new life. And as I say on my blog, I found my new normal, and it's a moving target. And here's an example of how there is no normal. Normal changes all the time. So I've done my 3 things. I'm starting to read. I'm trying to allow myself that time to relax. On one of my videos, I talked about the 5-5-5 and take a walk for 5 minutes and read or meditate for 5 minutes. And I'll link that below. But it was the 5-5-5 rule, and I've not been sticking to that. And it is something I created for myself. It was a challenge for this year that I really wanted to do. and I haven't been sticking to it, and I really want to try and work on that. And I'm not kicking myself about it. You know, it's just life. Life took over, and you got to regroup and get back on the horse and learn how to ride it again, and what's the best trail to take and so on. But something else I have is I grabbed a journal, just a $5 hardcover journal, and to help me to kind of sort things through, I'm going to start writing, and I even had today, Sunday, March 1st, and write out the night before I go to bed, to sort of unwind and to do a brain dump of what's happening. I need to wake up. I know this is going to sound silly, and some of you might be giggling sitting there while you have your cup of coffee with me. I need to get dressed. I need to do this and this and this before I go to work. I'm going to be working these hours. Maybe there's something, a special event at work. I want to make a note of that. I get off work at this time. When I leave work, I'm going to drive home and beep the horn and pick up the boys, or I'm going to drive home, and when I get home, these are the 3 things I want to get done. At 4:15, we need to pack the car and head out, and so on. And just actually, you know how you think through that in your head? You're kind of setting up the schedule in your head, and you'll think through it mentally. I'm actually having to write it down. And it has helped me just today as I wrote it down. It calmed my spirit. It helped me think through, okay, this is okay. I was telling my husband about it, and he said, but don't stick to it so much that if you say at 3:45, this will end and this will begin, because life will happen. But it at least kind of gives me a gauge where I am and how I can get through the day. And so when I go to bed at night, I've thought through this. You know, sometimes those last little things you think about before you go to bed, those are the things that haunt you through your sleep. And so I thought if I write this through, I kind of think through the day, I process the day, that I can go to bed a little bit more relaxed, because I can remember, yes, I wrote it down. I need to get up at 5:15. I need to leave the house at 6:30 for work. I start work at 7. Oh, maybe tomorrow. No, I start work at 8. I start work at 9. I start work at 11, whatever it is. But I've thought it through and I've written it down. For me, I need to write things out. Everybody's different. But if I write things out, I tend to remember them more. If I write them out, it just helps me think and process. So, you know what? I hope you guys are doing really well, and I hope you're not going through some tragedy or some major change and upheaval in life, or something stressful, or, you know, in our family, it's illness, it's special needs, and it's elderly parents. And our life has changed for the permanent in some ways. Some of it's for the temporary, but it is what it is. It's where I am. So I want to have a good attitude, and I want to be positive. I want my husband to be happy when I come home from work, and my son wants to see me, and I want to be happy when I come home. And I want to go to work with a smile on my face and encourage my coworkers that they can do it. And I have a team that work with me, and some of them, you know, kind of look up to me for various reasons, and I want to be able to fulfill that need that they have. They're looking for somebody to set the example. And all of you guys, I want you to leave feeling, when you've watched my video, that she's going through some tough stuff, but she's positive about it. She's trying to beat the odds. She's trying to be someone that moves through, who's standing at the Red Sea, and she's waiting for that opening so she can get through it. So I hope you had a great day today. I hope you have enjoyed whatever you did today, whether you were with your family or you worked. And I have some things up and coming that I want to do and chat with you guys about, and videos I want to do. And I'm going to keep plugging along to get them done. And I want to thank you for stopping by today. Thanks for coming to my home. And thanks for joining me on a little coffee chit chat about what we can do when things, you know, hit us hard like that. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.